former Virginia Governor George Allen on some of the reports that there's actually some division within the economic ranks here when it comes to not so much issues of trade and regulations, but specifically potential trade wars. And I believe, Governor, the concern is that Donald Trump might be very aggressive, sort of building walls, figuratively and literally, to the detriment of reaching out economically globally. Do you share that?
Well, first of all, happy Victory Monday, Neil. Good to be with you. And I think that Donald Trump's going to, I think, try to keep the promises he made to the American people as far as, securing and controlling our border. I think what he'll do as far as some of these trade agreements is look at specific chapters, say with the North American Free Trade Agreement, that may need to be amended. Also, because of NAFTA, a lot of our economies have been integrated, particularly with, say, auto chassis coming in from Windsor, Canada, to be built into automobiles in Detroit, Michigan. And so I think there's several things he'll do to say, similar to when I was governor. I said I wanted everyone to know in the world that Virginia is open for business again. I think Donald Trump wants America to be winning again, domestically as well as abroad.
How far does he go with that, though, Governor? But, you could argue that just, talking tough is enough to get kind of what you want. You could interpret one way or the other, Ford making a decision on its SUVs to keep building them here that was never in doubt, but just to put out such an announcement in the face of Donald Trump criticizing them during the election for building small cars in Mexico reminds people, as does Apple's decision to look at maybe making a lot of those iPhones in the U.S., the Trump effect is on.
Well, and it's very good, because I think there's several things he wants to do. He wants to make America more competitive on tax policies. You and Charles were talking earlier. The international average of taxes on business is around 20 to 25%. He also wants to repatriate the billions or trillions overseas, bring them back into the U.S. so it's invested here. Donald Trump is very pro-energy. That gives us such a competitive advantage, our low natural gas prices for the manufacturing of metals and plastics and chemicals and fertilizers and so forth. So if we have a productive energy policy in our country, which means lower cost for electricity as well as for manufacturing, a competitive tax policy, he wants to rein in all this regulatory red tape, which costs businesses, particularly small manufacturers, as much as $35,000 per year per employee. All of those will matter a lot. And then uphold the rule of law. And if anyone's cheating in these trade deals, then they need to be called to account. You can't just get slapped around and let these folks get away with cheating on these agreements. And I think ultimately, for a balance of trade, our liquefied natural gas could give our friends in Europe another choice of getting natural gas rather than being really a captive customer of Russia. So there's a lot of leverage that our energy policies could have for us as well as our allies around the world.
Governor, thank you very much. Governor George Allen, former governor of the fine state of Virginia, senator as well. Good seeing you.
Have a great Thanksgiving, Neil.
You too, my friend. Be well.